For many autism parents, finding a good school has been a major challenge for most of them.
And that is why today we are looking at factors to consider when searching for a school for your child.
And I have put in a few pointers based on the experiences that I've gathered from the complaints that parents have shared in our supportive groups.
Embracing the spectrum.
Some shared experiences are quite heartbreaking, that some parents have even considered homeschooling, which comes with its own set of challenges. So, what are the things to consider when you're choosing a school for your child on the spectrum? As a parent, you'd be able to tell whether you'd choose a mainstream or a special needs school for your child. Mainstream would require lots of support, while a special needs school has activities and a program tailored specifically for your child's needs. So based on the severity of your condition, of the child's condition, you can choose which way to go. There are various curricula, especially in the Kenyan context. So speaking about Kenya, my country, you can choose to either go for CBC or other curricula. Could be the British system, or if it's CBC, if it's the early stages, you're gonna choose whether it is CBC or Montessori. Personally, I find Montessori more practical for kids on the spectrum, but still with support, CBC could work very well for some of the kids. When choosing a school, you also need to look at the class size. Kids on the spectrum would work well in smaller classes, so it's good to look at the teachers to student ratio. And also with teacher training, are those teachers trained to handle children on the spectrum? We are just looking at the normal kind of teachers. So a specialized teacher would adequately cater for the needs of your child. It's a relief that most schools have tried to be as integrated as possible, but also some have not been able to achieve that. So when you're choosing a school, it's also good to check if they offer support services, because when you're trying to run around to combine all these services, yet you can find a school that offers therapies and many other things under one roof. Speech therapy, occupational therapy, and many other things incorporated, that would actually save costs, and also the strain of moving from one place to another seeking services, yet you can find it under one roof. Prior to your child's admission, it's good to know the communication and parental involvement. How often does the school communicate to the parent about the child's progress? Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it bi-weekly? So the frequency really matters, because this being a special needs child, the communication needs to be as open and as easy. It has to be so interactive, because part of the problem is the child could be nonverbal. So you would want to rely on the teacher, probably on a daily or every 2 days, to know the progress of the child. And if something happens, how immediate are they able to transfer that communication to you? I know of schools that have adopted video communication, where they take snippets of videos of what the child has been doing during the day and post it to the parent or send it to the parent. That way, the parent can duplicate what has been done in school back at home, and there's progress and continuity. Another thing is the sensory and emotional consideration. So does the school have quiet spaces? Does the school have structured activities for the children on the spectrum? As I go on, we need to realize that there is no perfect school. And sometimes you have to go a very long way to get a perfect fit for your child, or a good fit for your child. So here I'm talking about proximity. Based with the factors that I've mentioned, it's also good to consider how far or near the school is to your home, because long drives to school can be very stressful to children on the spectrum. Also, as they are being transported, it's good to know that the staff who are handling them have the necessary skills and experience to be able to handle kids on the spectrum. Whether it's a special school or mainstream school, does the school offer inclusion or promote inclusion? Does it offer social skills training and peer acceptance? because either way they need to learn the social skills, whether with each other, with the teachers, and with anyone around them. So the school should be able to provide that environment so that they are even having more people that they are interacting with at school compared to home. By now we all understand why it is called the spectrum, meaning that kids on the spectrum are all different. So this brings me to the point of individualized education plans. So do we have these IEPs tailored to your child's strengths? So the school should be flexible enough to design each child with their own program, because most children would be moving at their own pace. Now, this point is addressing specifically special needs schools. Yeah, so if it is a special needs school, these kids end up acquiring various skills, and some tend to outgrow the institutions they have. It's good to look at the future of the child in terms of where they have been placed. Is the school a long-term solution, or at some point will the child have to move? Yes, it could be a good school at that point, but when it comes to that point of moving, does the school help with the transition of that child? Are they able to follow up? Are they able to work with the school in the next level to ensure that your child has a smooth transition? Some I know have offered even vocational training for the kids who cannot continue with the usual program for education. We also need to look at a school if it allows assistive devices. Some are too sensitive to noise. Does the school allow the child to come with noise cancelling headphones and many other things? If you other parent who your kid has other needs, it's good to check for such kind of accommodations. We all know in urban areas there could be issues of space. Initially, schools were few and the field was quite big and the classes were quite spacious. But because of the increase in population and the urban population growing, these days schools occupy a very small space. So it might not even give the provisions to cater for special needs children. So we are looking at safety and health policies. So is the school well fenced? Because we have some kids who are elopists, they can just walk away. Are there security systems that have been put in place to ensure that the kids do not get lost? Is there safety practices that ensure that the kids do not get hurt? The school needs to be child friendly so that when you're leaving your child at school, you know that they are in a safe space. Of course, there are some other issues that are not very significant, but there are some parents who would be concerned where schools insist on a specific school uniform. Maybe the child does not want that color. Well, it could be far-fetched, but it is actually a point. And then there are some that their kids have trouble shaving all the time. So some parents would just let the hair outgrow. So does the school accommodate an outgrown hair? Does the school accommodate dreadlocks, depending on the parents' aesthetics preferences, and many other things? So some are strict, some are flexible. As parents, we take the children to school because we need that extra hand, we need that extra help. So we're also looking at a school that has, do they offer an after-school support? What are their expectations about homework? If it is a mainstream school, do they expect the children to deliver in terms of homework compared to other children, so that you're finding yourself doing too much, or the child, since he or she could be slow in completing the tasks, are they given equal tasks to the rest, or are they given something that is designed to fit their level? Now, with all those things said and done, I might have missed some, so feel free to comment more on the comment section. But now all that boils down to the cost, because the more we demand as parents, the more expensive it gets. So that has made us actually compromise to the kind of schools we are taking them. So the cost will definitely determine where you take your child. But if you're getting everything under one roof, it's good to calculate the cost separately. Like if you're taking the child for occupational therapy in another institution, you're taking them for speech therapy in another institution, and then you have to take them to a school. If you find a school that is offering everything under one roof, you can work those costs and see if they really match, or if they're even slightly, you might realize that they're actually slightly lower than when you do the therapies separately. Now, looking for a school does not require you to be in a hurry. You need to take your time as a parent. Sometimes you'll need to visit a school and sit there for a few hours to see how students are being taught and how they interact with the teachers and other students. And also, it's good to consult other parents. That is where these reviews come in. That is where the support groups come in. Support groups form a very good point of reference when you're looking for a school. So if you belong to one, or if you don't belong to one, it's a good time to actually join one so that you can ask these hard questions. You'll find parents giving experiences of how good or how bad a school has been. So as much as you listen to those experiences, just know that also each parent experiences a certain school or service independently. So you need to go and do your research. So despite the reviews, also compare notes. Don't just listen to one parent, but listen to a group and see where you make your decision. Happy school search and all the best in your endeavors.